Well, February is Financial Aid Awareness Month, and this year, major changes to graduate student borrowing are reshaping how students pay for advanced degrees. Let's welcome Ray Jones, Chief Product Officer for the South Carolina Student Loan Corporation. We're glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Layla. It's always great to talk to you guys. Appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
well, so this is really important. What I don't think a lot of people realized in that one big beautiful bill that was passed, that it has ended the Grad Plus loan program. So maybe you could share with our audience exactly what that means to students who are wanting to enroll themselves in advanced education.
Absolutely. Let's start with what that product is specifically and what it's used for. Students that are attending graduate school this upcoming July 1 and after, those entering students will not have access to the Graduate Plus loan. What that loan does is fill the complete gap of being able to pay for the total cost of education. So if you think in terms of a graduate school, let's use an example of a school costing $40,000 per year. There's current access to $20,500 for students that are attending, say, a master's degree in education, if you will. After that $20,500, students typically had access to a Graduate Plus loan, and they could borrow all the way up to that total cost of education in that program. There was no annual limit or aggregate limit that they needed to worry about. As of July 1, graduate students that are not already in the graduate program, so we're talking about first-time borrowers after July 1, they don't have access to that Graduate Plus money any longer. So all they can receive in their federal loan product is that $20,500. And I think what we see, Layla, is a growing concern from both the institution and from the student in terms of trying to fulfill that gap. How do they get that total cost of education paid for?
So what does this mean for grad students who are trying to pursue, say, a medical degree, whether it's a doctor, nurse, dentist? Those are expensive degrees.
They are. There's some very real scenarios. We've had conversations with the three medical schools here in South Carolina
Yeah.
that we're working with. One of the products that will change is for professional students will get some additional access above that original $20,500. However, most of those medical loans would exceed that total cost. So those that are grandfathered in that have already borrowed, if you're already in medical school or in a graduate program, you won't have to worry about that. What I would suggest is that those that are attempting to go to graduate school this upcoming year, be proactive, speak to your financial aid office, let them be aware of what your needs are. They will point you in the right direction. I would strongly encourage those that are interested in going to graduate school and need that additional money,
Yeah.
start the process early. They can go to our website, get pre-approved for a loan without impacting their credit, for example, and know that they have access to that. Now, there is going to certainly be a gap that not all private educational loans can fill.
So why was this gap created? Why did the program end? What was the reason, the impetus to change things if it was working so well in the past?
Well, I think there was a real concern about overborrowing for one. And I think, when it comes to graduate programs, the federal loan and the Federal Department of Education specifically, um, they looked at it in terms of giving a lot of that responsibility back to the student, the college, and then to the states as well, trying not to be the bank for many of those graduate programs and the cost that's associated with the loans
Mm.
that are in question. So some of those changes are impacted. There's some other changes in that bill that create some opportunities for school responsibility, making sure that students are receiving the quality of that return on investment. So all of those things tying together kind of what started some of this conversation.
Okay, so with this new landscape, so where do you come in?
Well, I think first of all, lenders like South Carolina Student Loan, we're a nonprofit lender here in Columbia, South Carolina, but there are many of us out there that offer private educational loans. Where we can help is filling that complete gap. So whatever that need is, a lender like South Carolina Student Loan would be able to lend. Those students, I would tell you, be mindful of the terms of the programs of a
Yeah.
private educational loan. They need to shop. They need to be prepared. They need to borrow responsibly. Checking interest rates is very important, and checking the terms of the loan.
Oh, yes.
How long are you going to need to repay it, and what's that interest rate going to be?
That's right. That's right. Because those things can also change. They can be one thing while you're enrolled, and then once you graduate, it changes.
They absolutely are based on the term of that lender. So shop around. Make sure you're speaking to someone with your concerns about the loan product.
Yeah.
Go somewhere like South Carolina Student Loan where you can get pre-approved and see exactly
Okay.
what your rate's going to be before you actually take the loan out.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for this really valuable information. And I'm sure we'll touch on this as we get closer to another enrollment season, just to remind our viewers exactly what they need to know when they need to start borrowing that money. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. Thanks for having me, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ray. We'll be back after this.